part 4 of the Revell Queen Mary 2. I'm now down to, I'm going to be working on the stern deck here. Now I've already, none of this is fitted in place at the moment. So this deck here originally, when I first set it up, it didn't actually fit proper. It was not too bad, but it wasn't brilliant. It didn't fit straight down, and these never fitted at all. They were well out. But I've now found out that the reason for that was because when I painted the deck beforehand, even though I hadn't done a lot of it, I put enough paint on the deck to just stop this deck sitting down perfect. Now that I've scraped the deck away, I'll show you now. I can take all this apart now. None of this is fitted. So now I've had to scrape away the paint. You probably can't see it all that well, but I've scraped it away. And once I've scraped that paint away, sanded a little bit on the bottom there, it's fine. It sits just fine now. I've also made a start on these. Now this is the one side. As you can see, this is how it came out the box. This is exactly how it came out the box. The only work I've done to this is there were about maybe, well, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of these were not opened up, were closed up. There were just, on this side of the mould, there was just nothing. And these tabs all needed a little bit of sanding down around the edges to get them to fit into the slots along the ship. This one, on the other hand, these first two here I've already opened up. Takes a while to open all these up, and this is how this is how it looked originally. As you can see, everything's locked in. Takes a while to open up all these. You probably, well, actually, you will see these, and the worst thing is, these are the actual, what they call a sea view, ocean view cabins. So you'll actually see all this. It's not going to be hidden. This is all going to be seen from inside, from outside. So it needs all them opening up. Then you have to decide what to do with the back of these, because once they're in place, there's nothing. As a deck goes on top, there's nothing between these each side, so you can see right the way through the ship. Well, obviously that wouldn't be the case in reality. Each one of these would be there's 902 altogether. Not on these 2 bits, but on these and various other bits. And some bits that have to go on the front. There's 900 plus cabins, and only 300 or so were inside the ship. There's 1,000, I think 345 or 465. This is about 200 cabins short, but that's not the point. But these would all represent inside there, when they're right the way up, inside there, these little walls and that represent the back of the cabin. So that would be, I'm in the white, I'll have to check it. And also, of course, on the, you know, so you can see them all. So they all have to be opened up. And then I'm toying with the idea of either glazing them across the top, on the outside, on the back, which will hopefully stop it seeing right through the ship, or even glazing it and putting a very fine coat of grey or something on, so that you don't see right through the ship, because obviously you won't be able to see that in reality. You won't see right through the ship in reality. It would be normal. So let's put these to one side. So now, let me get some bits and bobs. Bits and bobs. I think bits and bobs. Now I was originally my original plan, oh, you can't see that now, can you? Right, my original plan, let me put this sleeve down. And on the back of the ship, by the way, I forgot to mention, I think I did mention it in the last video I did, these two little bits here, when the deck is in place, as you can see, creates, I suppose it's like a little spiral staircase going up. This actual piece is part 16 of the build. These come in at part 81. So if you don't do them now, and you put all the deck in place, by the time that deck's in place, there's no guarantee they'll line up. So it's best to put them in now. Anybody building this, jump forward to part 81, and that's stage 81, and that's best to put them in at that point. Because if you don't, you'll be miles out. Now let me see if I can zoom in a bit. As I think I've mentioned before, I have a problem in that I don't have a PC. Everything is done on this thing, which I've forgotten the name of, tablet. So the first thing is to put 3 decals in there. I was originally going to do the decals with I was going to make up some resin and put them in with resin, but then I decided, and that's not bother, it's just not big enough to warrant having resin in it. And then you come to these decals, so parts 50, 46 and 46. Right, now 50, 46 and 46. So let's find some decals to start with. Number 46. So we'll start, so we need 2 of these. Now you've got to be careful of this because there's another bit beside it, which you obviously don't want to cut out. So that's the 2 little bits, they're going to go into the 2 little round ones. And the other thing I'm going to do, once I get to this, is glaze all these windows. You won't see them ones. Well, you'll see them through the windows. You will actually see them through the windows. So I'll glaze them. The other problem I had when I originally glued it down, when I took it off, it snapped this. That's a repair. That there, the top of that, on the bottom, let's turn it over, you might see it a bit better. The bottom of that is a repair. And on the top line of that. And this is what I used to repair. No, I didn't use that one. That's the small one. Right, so I used this 0.75 by 1mm strips. I used that, these thin strips, to repair the top. Goodbye these. I make a goodbye, they repair the top of it. Just what I don't look to that. So we've got them 2 bits. And now we want bit number, you see, I've only 2 bits, I've already forgotten. Bit number 50. As I was saying, I was going to do make up some resin and then make the swimming pools out of resin. But in the end, it was just too small. They wouldn't really have shown up, it wouldn't have made it any better. It wouldn't have come out any different. Maybe marginally. Right, so that's the first one. And the other thing you need is the microset and microsol. Microset does exactly what it says, it sets it. decent brush which hasn't got paint all over it. And we start with, let's get that out of the way. We start with some micro set. This is brilliant stuff, by the way. It does a brilliant job of setting the decals. It makes it look like they've been painted on rather than. So that's just a bit of micro set in there, you see. Doesn't need a lot. Always put the top back on because I've knocked that over so many times, it's unreal. Microsol is what will eventually set it. Well, you know, I mean, I'm not sure if this is good. No, that's better. Now, Microsol will set it. You've got to be really careful. Once you put this stuff on, if anybody's familiar with it, you don't want to start messing about with it. Because if you do, you're going to end up with it being totally ruined. It'll all come apart. It can. No, that's not actually set yet. These are bigger decals than I thought they were going to be. Thicker decals. I did on the last deck. I actually set it. So it takes a little while to get these in. You've got to be very careful because they only just fit. And with the last one, I managed to put a little, well, there was a little tear in it. It actually went through 3 of the decals. There seemed to be a problem in the actual decal itself. So you put this stuff on liberally, you don't see what I mean about putting the lids on? So you don't want to scrimp on this. Put plenty of it in. Very carefully tread that down. I've got some stuff somewhere. Very carefully put that down. I just knocked the thing then. Now it will end up being looking all horrible. See, that's torn there. This is another one that I didn't actually do anything to tear that really. Just put one of them in the water ready. Always best to do these one at a time, by the way. You see that's torn there in that corner. Just about managed to get that repaired. And this happened with the other ones and I did nothing to actually tear that. The other ones came off the sheet like this. And they had little tiny tears just inside there. You just about see that. And a little tiny turd just inside. And the bit has come out somewhere. So that, I'm going to have to do the same as I did with the other one. Bit of paint on that to repair it. Now I need to stop doing this or I'm going to ruin it. I hate these things when they do this. I really do. It irks me, something chronic. See that? It's torn there up. I just about lift that. I don't want to do too much messing about or it'll tear it completely. There you go, you see. Right, I need to stop that now. Because where I put the microsol on, that will actually tear it even more. That'll be fine once I put some stuff in that. Now the little ones probably don't need this really, to be fair. The little round ones don't particularly need that. I'll do that anyway. And then after this, of course, is fitting those massive big long windows in, but getting them all made up first. Oh, they put me these little things. Oh, they really do. Look at this, eh? And it's folded over, I think. In it goes. No, that's not brilliant, but not bad. I wish that wasn't torn there. A bit of extra setting there. And this is then ready for putting. Oh, and I've also added this bit here. And I've glazed that. You can probably see it better from there. That's been glazed. So that should be alright. It should work out just fine. And then once we've got this in, oh, no, I was going to say that one went in a bit better. No, there you go. So that one went in a bit better. But I'm going to have to do something about that big one. Trouble is you don't get any spurs with this. So any tears in it, unfortunately, can be repaired. So that just needs a little bit of light blue paint on that, just to cover that little tear over. But you can see it starts to bubble up and there. So that's how it's done. Let's get the roof off the table before I knock it over. Let's get this off the table. I don't need that no more. Don't need that no more. Don't need that no more. Probably don't need that. We'll get rid of that. I don't need that now. That's perfect. Now that's not too bad. So that's the first bit of that done. So first bit done. So there's the pool done on that one. Once that's on the deck, with the other pool that's behind it, that's not going to look too bad. Let's see if I can just lift that up. That's not perfectly in satin line, but that's going to look all right. That with the two pools done. Look. So now we need. Let's see if I can get that a bit closer. The trouble is with these things is if you zoom in on them, they don't particularly come out very well when you zoom in on them. Now, like I said, I don't think these are going to be seen, but you will. Well, when I say they won't be seen, see, once they're on the deck, you see, you can just about. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if you can see. You won't see it from this sort of angle, but you can see through the window. You can see this one out of the end, so you can see them. The ones at this end are going to be visible. There's going to be at least 3 visible there. So there's going to be 3 or 4 of them are going to be visible. The ones going through the window are going to be visible. So therefore, it's worth doing the glazing of all these windows. There's a few of them there. But now, glazing. Let's just have a look. 200 from the bottom tops. 9.99 on Amazon. Best thing you can do by these, by the way. What you want, some crystal clear. This is what's going to be used as the glazing. One bit of crystal clear in the bottle top it goes. You don't want to put tons of this in, by the way. And these are perfect now because A, you're not dipping a thing right inside the bottle, which won't necessarily get it out right. And B, it stays really good in there all the time. So now, let's see what we can do. So you need a good dollop. These are very big windows. There you go. A nice big dollop. Once they're dry, they're gonna be perfect once they're dry. And you can always tidy them up, you see, where you get a bit too much on the thing. Doesn't help but to do a little bit of tidying up here and there. But it can take a little while, this. And surprisingly, it is really sort of, what should we say? It is sort of, right now, if I can get one of these in here. I want to stand up right. You see, once you've got these in, once you start doing this, it's amazing how it's time consuming, but it's also extremely sort of relaxing. It shouldn't be because of all the weight you put yourself under. You see, they'll do alright. I don't think that light will do any good. Oh no, there you go. I see it a bit better now. Amazing what you can do when you remember to put the light on, isn't it? And so these come in, you see, you get used to how big the dollop is. Nice dollop. And these they're not going to take too long. These take maybe 4 or 5 hours and they're dry, and they're dry crystal clear. You might be able to just catch them on the boat there. And some come out different to others. Some you don't put as much, well, not on purpose, but sometimes you don't get as much crystal clear in the window. And so the windows come out, there's bloody air in that, or unbelievable. This sort of thing here, look. Now, once again, you see, I talk about something, I start explaining something, and dippy me, I forget what I'm talking about. You'll have to put a comment in, oh, you were talking about this and that. Stop forgetting. This is what you were doing. So once you get used to putting this certain amount in, you'll sometimes put too much in, which might seem like a bad thing, but it's actually not. Because surprisingly, it can actually make some of the windows look different. It means that not every single window is identical. There you go, that's one side's glazed already. Now, can I turn that over? Without touching the bit. It's a good idea to put something under that like that. You've got to do this now without touching that bit. So once again, you see a nice big dollop. Fills it in beautifully. You actually get used to how much to put on the end of the cocktail stick. It's like anything, as you work on these, you get used to certain bits. You know, it's, as I say, it's surprisingly relaxing, this. Apart from if you're gabbing and gabbing, of course. If you're gabbing away, it's a bit different. One day I'll get a PC and I'll be able to maybe do these videos a bit better. I've never worked out how people do the videos. Something I'm going to have to check on at some point. Because I'm assuming that if I do this throughout the week, for instance, I would then do, I don't know, 4 or 5 days worth of modelling. And then you must be able to edit in such a way that you can put all the videos together. Yep, that's that side done. So it doesn't take long. Just got to be able to hold this pin now, really. Bit different this one, but there you go, you see. These are long ones, so bit different, these ones. These ones, for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, these silly little ones, probably because of the length, I don't know. But these silly little ones actually take longer to do, or take more crystal clear than those large ones. Maybe it's just because of the shape. Maybe it's just because of the elongated shape of them. So this, once this is done, by the way, this will be put to one side and then left to dry. I might be able to fix it onto the boat by this afternoon, maybe tomorrow. But you need to let all this dry thoroughly before you do anything. No good being silly and rushing. So yeah, now my hands are too far away from the thing that's shaking now, look. Bugger. Shaky hands. Shaky syndrome. This is, I think I've explained before in some of my videos, it's why I can't do any, well, I build mostly wooden ships. If you're familiar with my videos, you'll know I've just finished the Titanic. And the wooden models take so long. And it's not just the models, it's the worst bit of it is a ship that has lots of rigging in. With the Titanic, it was obviously doing all the rigging on the funnels. You see, I mean, look at this. This is just ages. My hands used to be very, very unshaky. That certainly wasn't English, was it? That was, I don't know what language that was, unshaky. I didn't tremble anything like this till I turned about 65. And suddenly I realised, oh, I can't do all the close-up detail work anymore like I used to be able to. So there you go, that didn't take long. That took, we're up to half an hour, but that's only taken a few minutes. So that's it. Oh, be a good idea to hold it where it is. That's the entire thing underneath there. That's the entire thing glazed. That now goes to one side. That doesn't get touched now for at least half a day. Doesn't need that long usually, but we'll keep it that long. Now I'll just show you what I do next, because this is the stupid part now. I don't need that, and this is the beauty of these, that can just now be thrown away. So this is now then, that one is done. That's the one that didn't have a problem. This one has the first two sections are done. So now we're down to, let's see if I can get that not so bright. It doesn't help that it's marginally better. You're probably not going to be able to see a lot on this, to be fair. But this now has to have all that. It's unbelievable that they've done it like this. I wouldn't mind, but you know, like I say, once it's in there, where did it go? It goes that way. Once it's on the model, you're going to see these. These are these ocean view balconies. So the only way to do it is to get a small file, or you also need a good scalpel. That's not very good. You can't really see it that well, can you? It's a bit too bright, really. White on white. See if you can see it a bit better this way. Alright, now you might just see that a bit better. Yeah, you see it's too bright, really. It's marginally better. Only just. Where am I up to? I'm up to this one. So on these you can see between each one there's a little, it looks like little stars going up the side. So they're actually done in little sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So it's as well to work section by section. And then what it is, so we're starting on this one here. So this section goes from there to there, where my fingers are. You see, unbelievable. I don't see why they have to have such an expensive kit with so much stuff left in it. And this is not just a case of going through it. It's simply enough, it pushes the stuff through. But because of how it's done, this is not just a 10-minute job. I won't do too much of this, just bore you. Because you've got to go through it like this, and then some of it won't come out. So then you have to get the scalpel on it, pull it down that way. And once you've got it down this side, you then got to turn it over and get all them bits taken off on this side. You see all the little bits coming out. That comes out like that. See, look, little bits left in it. I wouldn't mind if you couldn't see this. Yeah, look, there are all these little bits coming out already. I wouldn't mind if you couldn't see it. It wouldn't be too bad then. But the fact that you can see this and it's going to be visible. And like I say, I'll have to look online. You can go online and bring up the Queen Mary. And it will show you these from inside. It will show you these bits inside the ship. These are the walls, or the doors, of what would be, I keep calling them balconies. They're actually verandas. So these are the verandas that you would sit out on. balconies, I suppose, or the clear bits that will go across the front of these to stop you falling over. Because obviously these are looking out into the ocean. And once you've got them done on the actual ship, these are, I don't know, French doors, double doors, whatever. You would look out, you would open them, so the back of them would be, I think they're white, I'll have to check it. You certainly paint the floors of these a darker colour. The kits, oh well, kits are all them stupid Revell paint codes. The kit tells you to do it in whatever colour, which is a mix of this and a mix of that. And they're actually painted the same colour as the deck of the ship, which to me is, well, I suppose it's bad, but it's not brilliant. It would be a lot better if it was a different colour. So I've used, I think I've said before, I've used a mahogany colour, which I've then painted down. Let's see if I can see it. That's not the one, that's copper. Oh dear, what do I do with it? That's gold. Moved it around somewhere. Oh, silly Billy. I moved it. What the bloody hell am I doing with it? It's not that one. Well, I've got it somewhere, mate. Whoops. Let's knock everything all over. Right. So these floors will be coloured that colour. It's actually mahogany, Lido mahogany, and I've mixed a bit of white into it, which is better than painting it that colour, which is the deck. Looks better, it puts it up against the deck. So we've got that bit done, and then you do this bit here. You know, like I say, it takes forever, but I don't know why this should be so relaxing, but it is. You know, I watch my own videos back and I actually fall asleep on the settee watching them because they're so relaxing. Well, this particular bit, I just, you know, it should really be a case of it really bugs you. You think, oh God, why do I have to do that? But once this is done, of course, you've got it all cut out, and you've got it all looking like it should do, then, as I say, I will probably glaze them at the back. Well, I will glaze them at the back. But by glazing them at the back, will hopefully tone down what you see through. And you won't be able to see right the way through that deck. Because that is the only bug, when they're fitted on and you can see through. Well, it wouldn't be right, would it? Because you wouldn't do that in reality. Because in reality it would be a case of you'd be looking into the cabins. So you wouldn't see right through to the cabin across the hallway. Wouldn't be much privacy in that, would there? Be a bit silly that, paying thousands of pounds for a cruise and you get a cabin that's completely open and you see right the way through the deck. And of course you climb out of the cabin and you fall down a 50-foot hole. Well, probably about 200 foot. It's probably a huge hole, isn't it, if it's like that. But I think I mentioned once before, I've seen somebody doing this. I don't know if it's the scale. I've seen this model built where somebody has actually taken all those floors of those cabins, and they've actually made little tables, chairs, brollies and everything, and put little tiny figures in. I'm not good enough to do that. I might be fairly decent at modelling, but super unbelievable small scale modelling is a little bit different really. It takes a little bit longer to do. See, some of these you can put through the longer. I think some were double, some were single, and some were triple. I think some had more. You obviously paid more for some than others. But I think there were, I think I read somewhere now, I think when I googled it, there was 815 of these. See, look at all that. There was something like 815. Now you see, now it's getting there now, look. Now you can see that compared to that. So you see there's, forget that bit there because it goes from there to there. So you see where now I've opened that bit up. You can see they're just gradually opening up. There's still a few there to do though. And this is this side, and then there's the other two going across here. I normally do a couple of hours on this and then think sod that. I'm not doing any bloody more. So what we've got to do, you see, so once these are all done, is we can start painting all these floors in. But before you do that, I've got to undercoat it. That will need a primer on it first because of how that shiny that white is. And this is white as well along here. There's a lot of white in this. See, more cabins along here. And there's more here. So it's surprising how many cabins there are in this kit. I think I counted them all up and there's 901, 902, I can't remember if I did or didn't I mention, mark it down, I marked it down. Let me have a look. I don't know what that means because that's just, 48. So there's 478 on this. Plus the ones on the other one. 478. I thought I'd marked it down somewhere. Maybe not. I'm sure I'd marked it down. There's 478. Plus there's 407. Well, that's the ones there. There's 478 there. And I think this has something like 430 or so. Plus the ones on the front. I think I'd finally worked out that within the kit, these bits. No, I haven't marked it down unfortunately. I've done it on one part but not the other. That's a shame. No, I haven't marked it. So altogether, within the kit, there are, no, I haven't marked it on that either. There are 900 and, I think I worked it out to something like 920 at various areas of the ship. So it's a lot of old cabins to sort of paint up. There's a lot of cabins to paint up. And it will take, it's probably going to take a few hours to do that. And then the fitting. See, look at all these little bits out. Bloody Revell. I don't know why they have to leave this much. They should have a quality control somewhere. Where somebody goes through and says, ah look, all these little bits haven't come out. Because this is a lot of things. I mean 440 or so of these. 430, well that's these bits here. It's probably about 800 of them. and probably about 600 of them are covered in on this side. It's weird that one side has come out literally perfect and the other side has come out all the flash in it and has not opened them up fully. And then you've got to decide what colour them walls are at the back. Because they were the doors looking out, they were probably white. I'll have to Google that and then look at some pictures. There's plenty of pictures of the Queen Mary. But if each of these walls in the background are the door, they're the door frames, obviously. Those walls inside there that are covered in there are the door frames. So there's that one. That one's almost done. One or two there, one there, one there. So they're the doors that are leading out onto these verandas. So I might just look at that, but if they are painted a different colour, you can always paint them a sort of nice gloss brown or something, you know, and then make them stand out a bit. It might work that way. Or even, as I say, glaze them and then put a nice colour, even a light brown colour on the back of the glaze. Or even mix some colour into the glaze. I might see how that works. Because when this is put on, this side is for this side of the ship. So that's for this side. This will be the nun. You can't see that because I've got the ships turned around. It's nitwit. Forgotten again what I was talking about. I'm getting old and decrepit. I got sort of, you know, I'm on the way out. It's you see, I've forgotten what I was talking about. So alright, I was talking about adding some colour to it. So I might just consider making up the glaze as I've got there. I might just use a bit of that I've already got. Put a little tiny bit of brown in it or something. Glaze it with that. Or even a very light grey. And then glaze them with that. And that might give you a nice background to it. Rather than seeing an open background. And you might be able to get them to look a lot better than they are. You better get them to look pretty reasonable, I suppose. And then you'll be able to produce a really nice looking model. See, now that's most of them done now. On this side. And that's taken, well, look at that, 20 to 1 already. You see, this is where the video is now 48 minutes. See, I suppose this is where if I had a PC and some software for editing, I suppose this is where I would do this for half an hour. And if I was doing this today, I would then do the next section tomorrow and the next. And that's where I'd have to work out how they edit. Because I know when I see these videos on YouTube, somebody puts a 1 hour video up, even an hour and a half in some cases, and they go through bits, especially when they're doing photo etch. And you think, oh wow, how the hell have you done that so quick? You know, if you watch, I'm watching, I believe it's Steve on the Model Shop. He's doing the, I watched all his ones with the hood and he's doing ones with the Bismarck at the moment. And somebody actually put in the comments about how quickly he did this photo etch on something. And I thought, yeah, it's bloody true, man. He's bloody brilliant, but I thought, bloody hell, man. How the hell did you photo etch that so quickly? Because with me, I can't just put a bit of photo etch in. I'm sure everybody's the same. You put the photo etch up, and then you've got to dry fit it, and then sand, dry fit, sand, file, dry fit, before you finally get to put it in. And somebody had commented on it on one of them. I think it was when he was doing the aircraft for the Bismarck. And somebody had said they're amazed at how quickly he can do the photo etch. And his reply was, well, I wish it was in real time. And then I suddenly thought, oh, right, no, that's where the editing is coming in. He's not doing it live all the time, he's editing. And then I don't know if you do it as a voiceover, because I just gab on throughout the video. You know, I just go on and on. And I explain everything in detail. I don't sort of stop doing it and just concentrate on what I'm doing. Because I think if there was just no sound there, it would just be boring. But I think you can do it, you take the audio out, I think you do a sort of a voiceover, rather than it being completely live. Now, look at all that, and that's only in one section. And there's still little bits that you pick up here and there. And you think you've got it all, and then you look, and you suddenly see a little bit, you think, oh, that little bit. Didn't see that little bit. You see, and then out it all comes. You think, right, I'm going to write a strong letter to Revell and get them to get a proper sort of system where they look at what they're releasing and think, right, we just need to sort that bit out there. Right, there you go. So which one have I just done? That one there. So now you can see that one marries up to these three. That's now along there. Now we're up to this one. We've got two to go now. Oh, the last one is a very long one. And then you've also got it along the bottom there. Look. That should be like that. That's all open along the bottom. I cleaned every one of them, literally every single one of them was cleaned out. And this is the same look. You can't even see them because they're all, you just about make out that they're going to need all that digging out as well. Look at that. It's amazing that one side is perfect and one side isn't. It's shocking actually, really shocking. Now then, where am I up to? I'm up to here. I reckon on the other side I have to do this, as I said earlier on. I reckon I only have to do this with about maybe half a dozen maybe. And they were fine. But this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, but that's a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20. So there's 26 along there, and the same below it. That's 52, and all these below that as well. So that section has about 120 in that need clearing out. Same there, that's 240, 480, 406, 485. So that's nearly 500 that have had to be cleaned out of about 800. You know, I mean, today's modern sort of, the way they do the things today, it shouldn't really happen. Shouldn't really need that amount of flash being left into models. I mean, I understand it happens, obviously. Can't be perfect, always. But it should be, very close to. Models are so different now. These are, you know, I mean, I started modelling way back when. I'm in my 70s now. Well, just turned 70 in April. I'm in my 70s. And I started modelling way back when I was 15. Around about 15. Maybe just coming to 16. And if anybody remembers way back then, television only had a few channels, but one of the channels, one of the things they used to do was a Friday night Fright Night. Now that wasn't like the films now, most of which are big sex scenes in and rubbish. They were really good. They had all the old horror movies on. I'm talking Boris Karloff and Ron Chaney Jr. and the likes, and Christopher Lee was probably just starting. But it was all the old Frankensteins, Draculas, Bela Lugosi, all that lot. And they were the big thing, and I was well into them. I got well into them. I just started work, so I was finally able to stay up till late. Although, to be fair, the telly went off about midnight then. But anyway, I digress. I used to love these horror movies. And my gran knew this, and she brought me a model of the Mummy. No, it was the Wolfman. It was a model of the Wolfman, if anybody remembers it. And it had the Wolfman on a tree, behind a tree. Well, you could set it up how you wanted. And she brought me this model kit. I'd never done a model kit up to then. Never even considered it, to be fair. But it was a really good choice for a Christmas present on her part. I thoroughly enjoyed painting it up. Painting up all the little details in it. Then building up the kit itself. It was absolutely brilliant. And then from there I brought all of them. I got the Mummy, I believe it was the Mummy, the Wolfman. I might have I think I had Dracula. No, Frankenstein's monster. So I had those four. And that, at 15, 16 years old, really got me. I wasn't into drinking then, I didn't have many mates at that point. That got me into model making. And then I thought, right, okay, I'm quite enjoying this actually. So I went on and got then the big things then. I don't know if Revell might have been around then, Trumpeter I don't know about. But then most kits then were Airfix. And most were aircraft. The amount of people that started work on started the first modelling on a Spitfire or a Lancaster. And that's what I did. Once I'd built these monster kits, I started buying all the Airfix kits. And I did the Spitfire, I did the Lancaster. I can't remember what. I think there were a few jet fighter kits around at the time. And that got me going well and truly into modelling. And then I got to a stage where aircraft were just becoming the norm. They weren't really appealing anymore. The more I did an aircraft, I'd do a really nice model of a Spitfire or something, or a Lancaster. I'd put all this detail into the cockpit, then display it hanging from the ceiling in flight. So you couldn't actually see any of the detail in it whatsoever. I did all the detail in the landing gears and closed them up. I knew it was there and I enjoyed doing it. But I soon learned with modelling aircraft that because I preferred to have them displayed as if they were in flight, then I never bothered anymore about putting all the details in. Aircraft just became a fuselage and wings. So then I got into ships. First one being the obvious one, the Titanic. I built the Titanic, so that must have been Revell. I remember it was a really good kit, and that got me even more interested in the modelling. And then I changed jobs, and I was now, I reckon I was about 18 now, maybe 19. And then I began to find out about drinking. I made a few friends and that was it. The modelling went out the window for quite a few years, to be fair. Then I got back into it many years later. Did yet another model of the Titanic. because the first one had now gone out the window. And from then on in, I was sort of biding my time between the police cells for drunk and disorderly. You used to get your £10 fine on a Saturday night or a Sunday morning. Get let out of the cells about 6 o'clock in the morning. You didn't go before a judge or anything, you just got fined 10 quid. I think they do that now. Anybody wanted to know where I was on a Sunday morning, they just had to ring the police station. On stupid things, and nothing bad. Just totally, you just used to get arrested for going home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning, you were drunk. I don't know if they still do that now, stupid if they do. It was absolutely pathetic that you just used to get locked up for being drunk. But anyway, I digress. I ended up in the cells all the time. I used to go out and get absolutely blind drunk. And then one day, there was a place, I don't know if it was Hannant's. There was a Hannant's in London. I think there might have been one in Reading at the time. And I was building quite a few ships again, and the B1B marvellous kit from Revell. And then I was going out with my mates most nights and getting blind drunk. By now I wasn't getting arrested all the time. I was working for the Sally Army by now, so the people I'd met now in the Sally Army, we just used to go out, have a little bit of a drink, and come back. And I'd gone out one day to Hannant's. I think it was Hannant's. It might have been something else in Reading. And they were closing down. And they had a model, which as I found out later, I couldn't buy it because it was a really hard model to do at that time. It was a model of HMS Victory by Heller. Huge model. And I thought, I want to buy that. That'll give me a challenge. And they had a closing down sale. And it was really, really got to me. I'd gone in just on the off chance to see. I didn't realise I had a closing down sale. I'd gone in and this model of HMS Victory was a ridiculous price at the time. I think it was near on £200. And they had it for about 35 quid. It wasn't just a little bit of a sale, they were literally giving stuff away. And I'd been out the night before and drunk all my money away. And that was it. I thought, sod the bloody drinking every night. And that was it. I toned down my drinking and started getting back into the modelling. And I then brought a model of not HMS Victory, of Cutty Sark. And that was a wooden model. First wooden model I ever built. And they were different then. The wooden models weren't like they are now. You had to buy it in parts. You brought the kit that had just all the wooden bits in. And then you brought a kit that had all the fittings, the fittings kit. They were really good to do. I got into that, I got into wooden modelling. I've made so many models over the years now. Mostly wood, well, a few wood. But the problem is, I've said before in videos, the problem now is a wooden model. Just stage them up to on here now with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There seem to be more. 1, 2, 3, 4. With 4 decks fitting and all the hull fitting. It's probably a couple of months' work. The same amount of work done on the Titanic took around about, I don't know, nearly 18 months. You know, it took me over 2 years, 2.5 years to build the Titanic. Before that, there was the Mississippi River boat that took over a year. And the 4 wooden models have probably taken about a good 10 years. Now, with the way my hands are, as you saw, with when I get into some of the bits that need a lot of work doing, I just can't do it anymore with the shaking. I mean, they don't shake all the time. I'm doing this all right without them shaking all over. But you just get to a point where you think, oh no, I don't want to do any more wooden models. I want to see a model completed in a few months rather than a few years. So I think it's going to be now more a case of doing more plastic models than wooden models. And I reckon it's, you know, I mean, this shouldn't really be, I shouldn't really be liking this because it's too much work. But it's surprising. Oh dear, we're up to an hour already. I have to think about stopping this now. Although it's not boring for me, I'm finding it really relaxing doing this and talking, chatting away, telling you about my life. You know, maybe I should start a podcast about my life. So I'm sort of, but I think anybody watching a video for, you know, they're probably not going to watch an hour's video. But then again, plus side, when you do this and they're put up on YouTube, they don't seem to have any sort of restrictions on how many videos you can put up. The plus side to that is that they're there for life. You've always got something there to look back on. And I can surprisingly enjoy watching my own videos, which is a bit weird. Although I should really look at them. See, because I'm not editing them, I haven't got any editing material to do. I tried the YouTube editing software that you get with the thing, but on the tablet, it maybe works on a PC. It doesn't work on a tablet though. Tablet wouldn't let me do anything. It just keeps going back to resetting itself all the time, and you sort of get to a point where you think, oh, yeah, too much trouble, mate. So, you know, I will have to invest in something to stop. Because usually I sort of repeat myself a few times. I talk about something and then think about something and then think, oh, actually I just mentioned that half an hour ago maybe. Which of course is where the editing comes into it, isn't it? No. I mean, I must really try and get a PC. I really must. Apart from anything, you know, I can't fit this in here where I am now. I haven't got a TV or a monitor or anything. And I can't hook the mobile phone, well, it's a tablet. I can't hook the tablet up to a TV or anything. I've tried it and it just comes back saying, oh no, you can't, this is not compatible. It's which is a shame really. So, but I do know I've used it before way back when I did have a PC, before it became a knackered PC. I did manage to hook the tablet up to the PC and then view everything on the PC onto the television. What monitor is, it's a TV, I hook it up to the TV. And then I could see everything that I was doing. I could actually watch what I was doing on the video on the telly on the big screen. So I could see then where I was going, well not wrong, but where I was setting stuff up. I could actually see, right, my hand's in the way of that bit, or I've gone on about something and I've moved something. I'm talking about something I'm doing and you can't actually see what I'm doing. Whereas if I've got it on a screen, you can see it. You can see what I'm doing. Well, you can see what I'm doing anyway. But apart from anything else, the tablet, once you start zooming in with a tablet, well, I suppose it depends on the tablet. This tablet I've got is just a rubbish Amazon special. It's a fire tablet. But I think I paid about 40 quid for it, 40 or 50 quid. It was one of the lesser ones. So I don't know if the more expensive ones, I've seen one that's about, I think it's around 300 quid. And you can buy it for Amazon's 5 monthly payment thing. I thought, well, I don't want to pay 500 quid for a tablet. Now that one might, I don't know if you can see that, you see all that? See all that rubbish there? That one might allow you to zoom in a bit better. It might have better cameras and better microphones. These microphones in these tablets are not brilliant for picking up sound. And once again, I've got some cables and I've got a little microphone and I try to hook it up. You just get a message come from screen. This software is not available. This software. Right, so I can't really do anything about it. Which is why I have to apologise sometimes, because I don't realise until I watch the videos back how much you mumble. And even worse, I don't know if anybody's ever done it before. Obviously people have done it before. Is you do all your little chatting and gabbing away, and you put the subtitles on YouTube. And they don't make any sense, do they? Most of the time, probably 80% of the time, they're fine. But some of it, the subtitles are just, well, they're just weird. You say something and it's not quite picked up what you said. And so it'll so like what I just said there. I've had that come out as, instead of it saying, I said this is how it went, it's come out with, I sort of read how it went. You know, hang on a minute, I didn't say Fred, I said. It's just the way the subtitles come out sometimes. They really are weird subtitles. I've noticed that in a few of the videos when I've watched them back. I mean, I know there is supposed to be a way of typing your own subtitles in. I wouldn't know how you do that. I mean, I wouldn't be. How would you type all everything you say in subtitles? You know how long that would take? It would take forever. That was a good idea, wasn't it? Blow it all over the place. That's just in 2 little bits up. So now, we're getting there now. Now, stop blowing it out of the way, nitwit. And so now, I think I need to stop the video before it gets too long. It'll be a chore to go through. But then again, it's been quite nice doing it. So now you can see that's another one done. That's not the one. Now you can see that one's now open. A few little bits there need tidying up. But now we've just got that. Oh no, that was the one I just done. So you can see where that's all now opened up. So now I've just got to open them all up on this one. So that's it. Once they're opened up, move the camera up so I can see you all. Now I've changed, you might remember from some of the other videos, I've actually changed all these filmings because I've changed the room around to make it a bit better. And then let me just put a light on, see if I can see you better. That's assuming I can find the thing. Oh, the light was already on. Look, light. Right, let's move that camera around. So now that now looks a lot better. Now, you can see that now, how much better it is. And you can see how much more I've got to do. So that one now is almost the same as that. Another hour and that will be done. and then I'll get ready for undercoating it and then painting it. So that's the video for today. This is, like I say, this is part number 4. I'll do part number 5 maybe after I've painted all this up. You don't want to sit and watch me paint all this up because it would take forever. I reckon it's going to take a couple of hours to do each of them. I reckon it'll take about, I reckon it'll take about 5 or 6 hours to paint one of them up. And then tidy them all up once they're painted up. Because the secret is trying not to get any paint on these side walls. Where you've got the side walls on these cabins. I'll try not to get any paint on them. So I hope you sort of enjoyed that somewhat. I know, feel free to comment if you want to. Although to be fair, I don't think it's the most popular videos. These are not getting many people watching these ones, to be fair. But I'm enjoying them. My Titanic is up to 200 plus views now, which is shocked me. I've got videos up of my dog from way back, from 10 years, 12 years ago. I've only got about 10 views, if I'm lucky. Some have only got 2 or 3. So it just goes, I've never worked out how to get more views. I put loads of things. Somebody said put loads of difference, you see. Somebody said put loads of bits in where you put, when it asks you for the tags. And one comment was, one thing was, put as many things as you can in the tag to get people in, draw people in. But then somebody else said, don't bother, don't put anything in the tabs. It's going to make no difference whatsoever. You can put whatever you can put Charlie in the chocolate factory building the model ship in, and it won't make any difference to how many people watch it. So I've never worked out how to get all the views that some people get. It'd be nice if I could get into the thousands like some people do. I've seen people, doing. Maybe it's because I make the videos too long. This is an hour and a quarter now. Maybe it's because I make them that touch too long. Or maybe it's probably because I'm sat too far away from the camera and you probably can't pick up the sound very well. So I reckon in the next month or so to get another PC and maybe, get a proper camera, because this thing only records in, standard definition, which is how you see anyway. You don't see in HD or 4K. Standard definition is the norm. But it would be nice to record these in HD or, even 4K. And there's some nice 4K cameras out there. Without breaking the bank on thousands of pounds to set up a video centre to video a bit better, get a better light system than these, get proper diffuse lighting rather than a single light. I've got 2 lights on at the moment, which I think I showed you last time. You can just about see I've got 2 lights going to keep that going. So once they're turned off, once I turn them off, do you see how dark it gets? Suddenly you can see but you can't see. It shows you how dark it gets in this place. This is all that, I've explained it before, that massive great big tree out there. So now we're down to, so I'm down now to sort of trying my best with the lighting. Right, I'm going to stop gabbing on now. 1:10 past 1. I need to take my old doggy out for a walk. So I'll take the dog out for him. I'll come back and probably might finish this afternoon. See how I feel. And I might finish it tomorrow. And then this deck will be about ready for putting into place. Just got to sort that pool out. You see that little tear in it? That really bugs me. But you can see now, well, you probably can't pick it up there. It might come in if you can see that very carefully. You can see how it's all bubbling up, and that's the microsol. That takes a little while, and that will actually pull itself in. So most of that turf will actually cover itself in. So it won't look too bad once it's on the ship. It'll look all right. And then, as I said, when I first tried fitting that deck, it didn't fit. It was too loose. Didn't fit right down. Now, that's because, did I explain at the beginning? If you look at that, you can see now where I've dug out the edges. What I'd originally done was painted the deck over. So where the deck was painted, I can't remember if I said this at the beginning. I might have said this at the beginning. But anyway, where the deck was painted, it hadn't risen it by far, but it had done enough. This is the light coming in and out of the window. This is why it keeps changing colour. It hadn't risen the deck up by a lot, but that paintwork, look at me watch shining out. That's simple things that catch your eye, innit? Now, I forgot what I put. Where I painted the deck, just that coat of sort of undercoat to start with, or primer, and then 3 very light coats on the deck was enough to just raise the deck up by a millimetre or so. So once I went round and scraped all that paint off, then very carefully just did a bit of sanding around the edge. Don't touch it because it's still drying. But you can see it's not dried yet. Not quite drying. They're not quite drying out. They take a little while. It takes a little while for this stuff to. You see one or two there just beginning. You can see the beginning of the. You see through it. You can see the beginning where it's starting to look like glass. So once I scrape them bits of paint off, and the deck fits 99% perfect. So I will probably see you again. Oh, look, an hour and 22 minutes. I'll have to see if I. Yeah, well, an hour and 22 minutes. So feel free to fast forward through all this video, by the way. Probably better off fast forwarding through it, bits and pieces, and just picking up the bits you want to watch. So I'll see you all again. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be worth putting a video up watching me paint these and see how I feel, see how it goes. I might paint 1 or 2, see how it goes, and then maybe make a video, put a little video of the paintwork. See, there's a gap between all of them. I've noticed that before. I haven't seen that before. Between each of those windows. That really doesn't really pick it up, does it? At the bottom of at the bottom. Yeah, when you look at them, at the bottom of the middle of each one, there's a very slight gap down to the floor. So that might make it easier to flood paint in there. You can literally do it right the way along. It's yeah, the gap is no, the gap only works at the top, not the bottom. Now that's a shame. But like I say, once these are painted, there's glass balconies go across there. So what I keep referring to as balconies, they actually are known as the ocean view balconies. I think they're more the verandas. And when it comes to doing them, these bits here are going to go on a line along the bottom of them, rather than calling them. They're not. I thought at first they were windows, but they're not windows. They're smaller than the windows. So they are the actual balconies that stop you falling over. So we'll have to see how I feel about when I get ready to paint that up. Just that one last one now to tidy up, and then we're ready to start skedaddling about with it. But now, I've got to stop now. Got to stop. Alright, I just saw a few little bits there. Now there's a bit there. So that's fine. Now I think I mentioned at one point before I got sidetracked into talking about something else. This goes on this side of the ship. This side of the ship. No, it goes on the other side. Put that one on this side. Now then. I've got to hold that one on this side. Does that go on this side? No, it goes on the other side. Oh, no. It goes upside down, isn't it? So this goes on this side. See, where I tidied all them bits up, where I painted, opened up all the slots, sanded down all the little tabs to get them right, and you see how that fits perfectly. But you can probably, I don't know, you can really tell really. Let's just put that on. Let me put that on. Let me move that down without pulling it off the top and without smashing everything up. Right, now, you won't be able to see it because of that light. But now, as you can see, you can see right through it, you see. And once the other one is on the other side, of course, you know, you're going to see right the way through. That's the bit that I don't like. So that's the bit where I might think about, you know, putting something behind the title, you know, maybe painting it up or something. Because if I put something like that behind there, now that looks better. You can't see through it now. So that will look a lot better, you see, by painting it up. It will get rid of all that glare going through it. That will look a lot better. So I will probably do that rather than being able to see through it. Yeah, well, might think about that one. I still think that glazing it might be enough. You can probably tell these windows are all glazed. If you look closely, you can just about see inside the hull. You can just about see the colour inside where I painted the floors and then. So we'll have to think about that one. I'll glaze it first from the back and see if that tones that down. As I say, I think I might better put a bit of, see, this is still the usual in there. So I reckon I might be able to put a little bit of paint in there. So I don't want the same colour as that. What colour do I want? Probably brown more than anything. I hate these things when you can't do. I really do. Maybe some blue. No, blue would look stupid on it. Maybe some grey. So you might be able to put just a little bit, no one or not. So you might be able to, see that's probably put a bit too much in there. So you might be able to touch up the grey. Yeah, put a bit too much in that, I think. And that would make a nice, I'll have to see how that comes out. See, there's something like that. actually make any difference how that goes in. You're not going to see it once it's, as long as the grey doesn't go right through and go into the walls. Yeah, this might be a bit time consuming, but that would, what to think about that one? That would certainly take out the clear, how clear it is. And once that's in, that can be tidied up if I don't like it anyway. Try and get it in the right place. Bit of work, you see. Yeah, well, probably can't see that very well, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think that might be a bit too dark actually. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that. I can tidy that up now. I always work on the side that's not going to be seen. This side, once it's displayed, won't be seen and be done the other way. So I can soon tidy that up. So that's, I think it's come out too dark. So it's an hour and a half now, so that's too much. Right, so I'll see you all again maybe in a few days. Next job, I might have all this done, dusted, painted, and on the ship, ready for the next lot of decks to go into them. Various bits going across and the decks going across. So I will see you all again maybe in a week or so. Maybe a bit later. But I've got some money next week. I might or might not be able to get a PC. But even if I can, I still need a decent camera. So I'll see you all again. Thank you for anybody that's actually stuck with me and watched the whole video. Which if you are, and if you have, then you're very good. Feel free to like or comment, and hopefully I'll see you all again. And hopefully one or two people are watching this. I don't know about picking up any. I'm not an expert modeler, so simple things. So goodbye everybody. Good luck. I'm off out with the dog, and then have me din-dins on my lunch. So I'll see you all in a week or two. Bye bye.